faculty exchange for internationalization. When we talk about faculty exchange, there are several synonyms to it. One is, as it is, faculty exchange, faculty mobility, academics mobility, teacher mobility, researchers mobility, academic administrators mobility, etc. These are all one and the same. Ultimately, a teacher who is working in higher education domain is going to other country to work in other international universities. So that is what we are talking about, faculty exchange. It is one of the important dimension in higher education. The presence of international faculty. When we are talking about international faculty, is a foreign person or a non-local or non-domestic within higher education institution and systems worldwide is an essential dimension of higher education in today's global knowledge society. And increased global competition for talent, research, funding, and a reputation or a branding not only implies that universities must compete for the best and the brightest of undergraduate and graduate students, but they must also seek out talented researchers and teachers on a worldwide scale. Without teacher, any of this doesn't really matters. In internationalization of higher education, as for many, faculty are crucial actors. Be it student mobility, curricular innovation, cultivation and maintenance of international partnership, for all these things, faculty are crucial actors. Unfortunately, universities across India has given more importance to student mobility, some level of curricular innovation, and people are very busy in engaging foreign universities for signing an agreement. But on all these, universities have forgotten faculty. That's my experience. When faculty are not involved in the domain of internationalization, obviously internationalization will not be successful. Fundamental aspect of many institutional strategies for internationalization, including student mobility, curricular innovation, and maintenance, without faculty is meaningless. So, all the universities has to give more and more importance for faculty mobility. In whatever way possible, they need to support mobility of faculty. Faculty are the crucial actors in internationalization, particularly concerning to a permanent and long-term appointments rather than short-term or occasional visits. What I mean to say here is, most of the universities, they are looking for, from the Indian universities perspective, they are looking for international faculty. Unfortunately, we have miserably failed to attract top or talented faculty to Indian universities. One of the main reasons for that, what we observed, is the salary component what the Indian government is insisting for foreign faculty. It's really costly affair for Indian universities to give salary in dollars. So that is one of the major issues what Indian universities are facing when it comes to inbound faculty mobility. How do we define international faculty? So this is one thing which is always a debatable one, because there is no clear definition for international faculty. Whom you will call as an international faculty? Is citizenship a defining factor? That's one thing what we always look for, because there is no clear-cut instruction or guidelines that whom you will call as international faculty. So some people, they say that he should be citizen of other country. Does the status as an international faculty member have more to do with having received one's academic training abroad, maybe a PhD abroad, regardless of country of his origin? That may be another way of looking at international faculty. Is an international faculty member considered as an immigrant in the local context? If so, does it matter if this immigration process occurred before or after the faculty member entered the rank of academia? These are the questions need to be asked. And the other important aspect is across the globe, top universities are always attracting talented pool of faculty to their universities, and people or faculty really want to go and work in the top universities, wherever it may be. And also the other kind of universities are, they don't have local faculty to teach in the universities. So that is the other category. There are two extreme cases what we can see. One is a university or an institute which is well known globally. Everybody wants to go and work there. The other kind of institutions are where there are local faculty are not available for teaching. So they are always depending on foreign faculties. So these are two extreme cases, and both are entirely different. One is the talented pool who want to associate themselves with the top universities. The other one is need not be. When we call it as a foreign faculty, it may be from any country XYZ. It is possible. Because they are looking for teacher, they are not really looking for foreign faculty with the talent. So these are the two extremes. So a level playing ground between a prestigious institutions and a shortage of institution where the shortage of faculty is there, these two need to be considered when we are talking about faculty mobility, and that is one of the important tasks. And we all are in between these two. The next aspect, what I am going to speak, is motivation for faculty exchange. Why a faculty is interested in mobility? Why he is willing to go out and work for some time? There are several reasons what one can quote. Motivation of university professors for their international academic mobility and to provide a better understanding of the advantages this experience can bring to their personal life, professional life, or the academic lives. So these are three different ways one can look at when he is always interested in faculty mobility. So personal life, somebody is very much interested to go abroad and work just as a matter of his interest. He want to take his family and settle there. And along with that, the other benefit will be there. But his main focus is personal life. He want to go out of India, either settle permanently or work for a considerable amount of time and come back, because that may be one of the goal of many faculty. The other goal is someone are really serious about their professional growth and they want to gain experience of working abroad. They want to learn best practices either in teaching or research. That may be their goal. The third one is their academic interest. They really want to teach abroad. They want to learn best practices of teaching and they want to come back and serve in India. There are various reasons for all these things. Whatever may be your interest. So today whatever I am speaking is with respect to all these three perspectives of a teacher or a faculty. The motivation of the home university, because in some of the universities they want an international flavor to all the faculty. They want that, they expect that the faculty of their university has to have some experience of working abroad, living abroad, doing some research abroad, so that they can bring best practices to home campus. And universities are promoting their faculty member for all kind of faculty mobility program. So that is also a motivation for the faculty mobility program. The next one is the host university. Wherever you are going, that university may be very eager to attract foreign talent, or they want a mix of faculty among their faculty fraternity. So these are various motivational factors which promotes faculty mobility across the globe. The next question is, as a teacher in higher education institution, we all want to have this experience. There is no doubt about it. Especially in India, you ask any faculty member, are you willing to go and serve in foreign institution for a short period or little longer or permanently? And majority of them are willing to work for a shorter period of time. If that is the case, the basic question what most of the faculty members they ask is, am I eligible for faculty exchange? So my simple answers are, in principle, all faculty in higher education are eligible to go for faculty mobility. The next one is, you may be in the beginning of your academic career, you may be in the middle of your academic career, you may be in the senior positions, or you may be an academic administrators. These are a broad classification of a faculty in higher education. You may be in whatever level, all of you will have one or the other option to work in foreign land. So especially for the beginning, when you join your institution as a faculty, a newcomer, usually, by my experience, I say that at least you must go and work 6 months or 1 year or 2 years as a postdoctoral fellow. So for the beginning of your career, I always recommend beginning 5 to 10 years, the good time to go out and work as postdoctoral fellow and come back. So that is a short-term goal for you. The second one is the middle or an academic level. When you are in the middle level, it is always better to establish as a researcher and establish a research connection, be a partner of some consortium and or lead some consortium, and hence try to get mobility out of that. So once you are part of consortium, you can travel, you can stay abroad and you can work there. So that is fantastic for people who are in the middle level of their academic career. The third category is senior level. So senior level people can go for a very shorter time of 1 month or 2 months or maximum 3 months, so that they can bring connection from institutions to institution, and they are the right people to connect various people working in that domain, so that they can establish long-term relation between 2 or more than 2 universities abroad. The fourth category is academic leaders. Especially once academic leaders start traveling abroad, sign an agreement with other universities, I am sure they are going to own up and they will encourage and motivate their own colleagues to travel abroad. And hence, in order to improve faculty mobility, I always urge all academic administrators, especially who are in the decision-making position, they should go out at least for 15 days and stay there, understand, and then come back and find out a suitable faculty and promote them to go there. So, home university have equally important role in promoting their own faculty for faculty mobility program. I want to say that you may be in any position of your career, all of you will have chance to go abroad. So there is nothing like, one has to be senior or one has to be junior. Each one of us have different options which are available for faculty exchange. According to me, here onwards, whatever I am speaking, it's my own experience or my own interpretation. I may be wrong, I may be contradicting someone's view here, but this is my experience which I want to share with all of you. Step 1 is profile of a faculty. If anybody wants to travel abroad, they need to know where exactly they stand with respect to their professional profile. That's very important. There is no compromise to it. One of the important tasks is all faculty, whoever wants to travel abroad, the best way as a faculty, if you want to travel, you need to have a PhD. So without PhD, your chances of visiting or traveling or working abroad is minimum. And the quality of PhD really matters, because during your PhD, whatever work you do in your own domain, that matters when it comes to traveling or international recognition. So for that, quality publication of an individual is paramount important. The third one is domain of research and teaching. Whether your domain are available in many universities, there is huge demand for this domain, then your chances are more. And the teaching, are you so unique in certain topics where you can deliver that, or there is a dearth of teachers in that domain, then that increases your chance for faculty mobility. And interdisciplinary experience. For example, I am now speaking to pharmaceutical people. So when I am talking about pharmacy, obviously what happens is you are in demand in medical college, you are in demand even in engineering colleges, because you are very important for interdisciplinary research. If you are working only in the domain of pharmacy, then I don't think the chances are more. So it is always interdisciplinary nature of your profile which attracts more and more options for you. And one more thing, what people usually look for is a language skill, especially when you are traveling to some countries in Europe. You need to know their language, then the chances are more. So you can gel with the people very easily, and also if you can achieve a certain level of reading and writing in their native language, obviously your chances are very high. If you are interested in any of the faculty mobility, it is better you plan in advance and try to acquire language skills or certification. That will help you a lot. And previous experiences, that's very important. If you have worked with someone, that person may refer you to someone else. So your previous work experience is going to be of help whenever you want to travel abroad. Then the usual requirement is IELTS and TOEFL score. And one of the important parameter is your communication skill. How well you can communicate, that really matters. And uniqueness, why others have to show interest in you. The profile should speak for us. I need not speak. When I send my profile, the profile has to be unique. If your profile is unique, chances of faculty mobility is very high. The second step is building the network. It's very important. Building the network, you must know the labs where similar research is happening. Because when we start PhD, I always advise my students also that every one of PhD student should know that where all this research is happening in the world. At least 5 to 10 topmost places where this research has really doing well. So we must know that. The second one is use professional network like LinkedIn or ResearchGate to connect with researchers in your own domain. Because unless and until we are connected, we will not be able to make best use of it. The third one, be conscious of researchers whom you are citing in your research publication. Most of the time, when we write our own article, we start citing everybody. We do not know. Most of the times, we don't cite the original authors also. We need to cite original authors. We need to know them at least, and to go through their papers and try to email them, connect with them. And when you cite them, cite it in such a way that it will help you to communicate further. So while writing a research article also, when we are citing somebody's work, we need to be cautious so that we get an opportunity to visit their labs and work there. Don't hesitate to communicate. It's very important. As Indians, we always think whether I have to write like this or write like that. Any professional way of writing a brief email, it's always appreciable. But you need to be genuine in your appreciation, and the query, whatever you ask, that should be a serious query. Then only you will get response. And for that, you need to know that individual on a different way, so that as soon as he receives your email, he knows that, oh, this person has cited my paper and I know him. I have connected with him on LinkedIn. All these things will come to your rescue, so that he will reply to your email quickly. Otherwise, top labs will never reply to emails whenever it is not up to them. So this is simply ignore or delete the email. Current affairs in your research domain or top journals or magazines. Many of us, we don't know what's happening in our own domain. If we want to travel abroad, we need to know that what is happening in my field. Only way to know that is we need to regularly read top journals in our own field and also understand the top research, what's happening in the respective magazines. We need to be aware of state of affairs in our own domain. The next one is the relevance of your research. Most of the times we realize after PhD that my research is outdated. So it's a high time that we have to reorient ourselves and try to do research where there is a huge demand. Otherwise, we need to carry that load throughout our career. Attending Tier 1 conference or workshop. Network matters, and most of the time, the conference and workshop are the places where we get a chance to interact with various people. So I always recommend that we need to go for conferences and workshops to establish network. Be a part of similar interest group. There are several similar interest groups, especially in LinkedIn, and we need to be part of that so that we are connected with all kinds of happening in our own domain. Be an active member in the professional society or body. Not just a member, we need to be active so that our network will be really strong, and using that we can travel abroad. The third step is how to plan ourselves or prepare for the mobility. Please note, there is shortage of talent. Across any universities, the top universities abroad, they want talented pool of faculty or researchers in their university. So there is a dearth, there is a shortage of talent. So if we are talented, we have options. Start communicating professional emails and show your interest in visiting the lab. Keep your email as brief as possible so that it will not take more than 1 minute to understand what exactly is this email. If your body of the email is interesting, then only he will open the attachment to see your letter of intent or motivation or your CV, and then he will write back to you. Statement of purpose. This is one thing which most of us we may not have. Why I have to work in that university? Why he has to spend his time, energy in inviting me? So that has to be very clear, So statement of purpose, whenever we are writing to somebody, that matters. Then explore the funding option. This is one of the important things. Without funding, we can't travel. So somebody has to fund us. So some of the options where my students and myself, I got many scholarships and fund for traveling abroad is funded research project. Wherever we want to visit, usually a principal investigator in that lab may have some project with him, and he may sponsor us to visit his lab. That is one of the interesting option. But for that, you need to be within his network. You need to know him, then only he will make that arrangement for you. The second option is either your home university or the host university may be interested in faculty from abroad. So if that is the case, then there is a chance. The third option is bilateral agreement between governments. There are several bilateral agreements between India and many more countries, and we need to explore all that. And public funding options. Broadly, these are the 4 categories of funding which are available for mobility of faculty. And some of the mobility grant, what I have seen is one of the prestigious one is Fulbright. And Fulbright faculty mobility grant, which is available from 1 year to 1.5 years. Very prestigious, but especially for US, this Fulbright scholarship is designed. And Indo-India Fellowship Program for Professor Mobility. Erasmus Plus Mobility Project for higher education students and staff. DAAD, that is a German Academic Exchange Service. There are several grants which are available for PhD students as well as for faculty mobility. Then SWAGATA, that is Indo-German Fellowship for faculty mobility. British Council Mobility, and there are several scholarship offers which are available. Max Planck India Mobility Grants are set out to enable research in Germany. Indo-AISRF Grants, Indo-U.S. Science and Technology Forum, UK Commonwealth Fellowship, New Zealand Commonwealth Fellowship, UKRI Grants, Indo-Swedish Joint Network Grant, Marie Curie Fellowship, India-Austria Joint Call for Proposal for Exchange of Visits, Australia-India Council Grant Program, Raman Charpak for Research Scholars, and there are many more. There are many more scholarships which are available for faculty mobility, and it is our motivation to continuously try and apply and go for it. I am confident that any faculty who travels and works abroad at least for 3 to 6 months in his career, he will be a different individual, and his the best practices, whatever he is going to adapt from there, is going to be with him throughout his life. There are several set of advantages of faculty mobility. As a university, as an individual, we all have to try and try and try. That is, the motivation is very important, because once we start traveling, then only we understand that once the first travel is very important, because we will apply to 1 or 2 or 3 universities and then we forget. Just to share my experiences immediately after my postdoctoral fellowship, I think I have applied more than 50 universities, and after that only one university, I could go there. So there are several options which are available. Continuously we have to apply. So persistence is the mantra. The second mantra is the follow-up. We need to follow up. One day we start, let us apply and try to get some funding, and the second day if you leave it, it's of no use. Follow up. The third one is, don't get disappointed by your rejections. There will be several rejections, and we need to work out why my applications are getting rejected and rework on SOP, rework on your profile, acquire required skills, find out who is the right person to contact, and by that we can get it. So usually foreign faculty, whichever lab, if you are interested to visit, the main thing is, if you have your own funding options, then usually they don't hesitate to invite. But if the funding is from that lab, then obviously they will be doubly cautious before they invite you. So you need to be very clear. If you are sure that whatever grant I have listed, there are several other grants also, you can go through all those grants. There will be a deadline. You make an activity chart, be specific about certain countries and certain labs. Don't say that I just want to travel abroad, any country, any lab is okay. That attitude will not take you anywhere. So we need to be very choosy, and we need to work out. That is the only mantra to get success in traveling, working, and experiencing research or teaching abroad. I am sure some of these presentations, whatever is laid down in this FDP, might have helped you in many ways, and this particular presentation is about faculty mobility. I am sure you might have learned something out of it. My interesting slide is never ever give up. So please observe this picture carefully. It has a message for all of us. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much.